All right. Let's see if it's actually going live. It is going live. All right. Hello, everybody. Wow, what a day. It's been a busy day for me. Well, no. I need to be careful. Not a busy day, a packed day. So, it is Sunday, obviously. And at the start of the afternoon, England was playing. It was our second game of the World Cup so far. I mean, I don't really know what good etiquette for this is, but people probably know the result, right? But it was a game we were expected to win, and we did very, very well. So yeah, it's been lots of fun and very cool. It's good to see you, Jules. I went from that to the LP and then straight to this as well now. So yeah, pretty ram packed. As soon as I'm done with this, I edit the LP and then I think I have to get to some Discord messages and stuff, but it should be cool. Thanks very much to everybody who showed up. Hopefully we have a lot of fun. I am going to cut to an intro here while I get some coffee or something. I'm actually hungry. The truth is I'm hungry. I had some soup about 3 hours ago, but I'm hungry. But I'm hoping the coffee will stifle that for a little while, and we will eat when the work is done. So yeah, everybody, hope we're all having fun. Nerdy PG says last LP was mind-blowing. Mind-blowing? What was mind-blowing about the last LP episode you saw? What were we doing in the last one that got uploaded? It was the Order of Whispers attack, wasn't it? What was mind-blowing about that? Stuff to do with Gore, maybe? Because you didn't know that Gore was so instrumental in the downfall of Zaitan? Yeah, the game was a bit brutal. I mean, it was fun, though. I remember, I think it was last World Cup, was that when we had the Iceland game. And it was like a very similar situation where it's like, all right, these should be easy wins for us. And then we just crumble on the world stage because we're not very good, to be honest. And, you know, it's all just disappointing and upsetting and whatnot. But this time it actually has been like, yeah, you know, this is a win we were expecting to have. And we had it. It was a really cool game as well, though, because Panama have never been at the World Cup. And they've never scored a goal or anything. And they managed to get one goal this game. They were destroyed, but they got one goal. And their fans were so happy and nice and cheerful. And it was just generally like such good feelies everywhere. It was kind of cool, to be honest, to see that. So yeah. It's a shame that like whole block, what do they call it? What do they call like Central America and stuff? That whole block has just got it's got like one strong team. Like Mexico, that's it. You know, like Panama qualified over even the goddamn US, right? I remember 4 years ago it was the US were in our group, weren't they? But anyway, I think the Twitch terms of service forbid you to show your monkey on stream. I don't have a monkey on stream right now. I have a screenshot of Guild Wars 2, another screenshot of Guild Wars 2, and in the middle that is a virtual reality game called Lucky's Story, which is a pretty cool game. What do you think will happen Tuesday story-wise? Will Joko be defected? Or will he go Team Rocket and blast off again? He'll go Team Rocket and blast off again. Actually, I think he's going to have a major win against us. I think, like, the idea of the trailer is that he's orchestrating, like, a big thing. So I think he's orchestrating a big plan, a big plot, where, and we even hear on the trailer, our player characters are like, yeah, we're going to go for it. We're going to take him out. I think that the whole thing is going to be we go and attack him and we kill him. We do actually win. We take him out. But then he's going to resurrect and we're going to be surrounded by Awaken. He's going to be like, lol, you lose. And we're going to be trapped and destroyed. The one thing, I mean, it's very interesting, the idea of writing a story for an MMO as they do, is they can't do, they're more limited in cliffhangers than say a film or a TV show or a book or something would be, because any of those other formats of media can have the heroes in a precarious position and then end, and it like works really well and it's fine. It's like, oh shit, Joko won, I'm about to have my head chopped off, tune in next time, and then everyone's on tenterhooks. But that kind of doesn't work in an MMO without a pretty big disconnect and suspension of disbelief and just like breakaway where it's like, oh yeah, you're about to be decapitated, but that happens in episode 4, so here you go, get full control of your character back and just roam around the world and blah blah blah. Like, that doesn't work, obviously. And even if they do go for the option where they're happy to just like break the bridge, break your immersion just a tiny bit there, it also still limits them as far as current events and stuff are concerned, I think, a little bit. So, you know, within an expansion, they can do that. But, like, so, for example, the Departing in Path of Fire, you have the instance where you climb the pillar and you fight Balthazar. And then you have the next instance back to back, which is the Underworld. If you were to imagine that as living world, they could never really comfortably have the pillar mission be the end of one episode and the Underworld mission be the start of the next episode. Because that cliffhanger wouldn't work, because it's like, what, am I supposed to be dead, but now I'm just alive kind of thing? So, I think that, I think how they end this episode I'm more curious about than anything else. But I am pretty sure it will be some big plot or play or whatever from Joko and we fall into it. That's how I feel, generally speaking. The character you play the story with is locked until the next episode. That would be a way to lose a lot of players and bring out the petulant whininess in the community very quickly. We need a defeat for a change. What was our recent defeats? I don't know. It's interesting. I know what you mean, but I think... Sorry, I've been spinning a pen in between my fingers and I just dropped it, so now I've got to pick it up. I don't know. I feel like we've had a lot of defeats. Path of Fire, in a nutshell, is a defeat as far as I'm concerned. A short-term success, long-term losses or whatever. I mean, we turbocharged an Elder Dragon. I guess it depends in the rest of the season how the devs show Kralkatoric's destruction and stuff. If we're going to corner, then there should be more branded stuff, even though none appeared on the trailer. I would hope there would be more. Yeah, it would be like if Path of Fire ended when Balthazar killed the player, but then you can just control your character and go farm the Silver Wastes more and stuff. It's just a bit strange, you know. Anyway, listen, guys, I am gonna go get myself a drink, probably an icy drink as well, and yeah, don't go anywhere. I'm going to tell people on Discord that we're going live. We are going to be playing a little bit of Fashion Wars. I'm not actually in-game right now because after the LP, I was loading stuff into editing and closed the client down. But I'll log back in, and we're going to be doing a little bit of Fashion Wars because this is the last arc. Can you believe it? We're in the last arc of POF already. That Desolation section is so short. I mean, it literally feels like just last part we were in the thick of the Glint's Lair stuff, and now it's like, oh yeah, you're at the end. I mean, it's such a shame. But yeah, there's some stuff. There is quantity in Vabbi at least, so I don't expect this is the last episode. This is not the last stream that will be the Path of Fire playthrough. But you know, if we get just 2 instances done, we're on the precipice after that. But so it's very important we look like a badass. So yeah, we're gonna make Natalie look really good in the final set of armor for Path of Fire, which is the funerary gear, which we've always been waiting for Vabbi to wear, and we'll try and dye it properly. So it'll probably be a bit weird early on. You wanted to submit something for Fashion Wars, but you had no time? Well, you can advise me on stream now. Yeah. Or in 5 minutes when we start. All right, so yeah, I'll see you guys in a sec. Don't go anywhere. Oh, you can ask questions as well, and I'll get to them in chat when I return. All right. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome. I opted not to go for the coffee. Instead, I just got some nice icy fizzy drink. Okay. So, yeah, what have we been saying? I'm scrolling up. You know how you get sleepy after a big meal? Do you think that happened to Krauk, and that's why we haven't heard from him recently? I thought I was going to get some nutrition advice or something there. Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know whether that's really fair. This is one of those weird situations, Dead Zealot, where we saw it in Season 2, we see it in Season 3, we're seeing it here in Season 4 as well. Basically, you as a fan playing as the game releases content feel like stuff is happening at a different rate to what it's actually being delivered. And I'm not talking about like lore timelines and stuff, because I know that that's one for one. But what I'm saying is, in a year, if you come back and play Season 4 start to finish, one thing will be it's all like collapsed together very quickly, and you'll remember very quickly, it was only a moment ago really, we saw the big attack from Amnoon, you know. So like, your perspective now might be that Krauk hasn't done anything for ages, but if you play this story back to back, Krauk was very violently aggressive at the end of the expansion, very violently aggressive just a moment ago in the story. And they only need to like flick him in there every now and then. But you know, that's one of those funny things as well, that you tend to miss out big picture wise. I think most of the mine and most story, I'm not talking about like lore speculation and theory craft and information aggregation and all of that stuff. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is people who try to criticize the writers in terms of their ability to craft an emotional story or whatever. I reckon most of what you hear about that from players of Guild Wars 2 is totally wrong and off these days, and has been for ages now, just because most of them are viewing these very narrow little slices of the game and then waiting ages, and then another little narrow slice of the game and then waiting ages. The best opinions you'll get about how good Season 3 is actually from someone totally new who plays it all in an afternoon, you know, or spends like 2 days and beats all of Season 3, because they will have the big picture, they will have the scope, they will actually understand. It's a bit like at launch, people will probably you're more intelligently able to talk about it if you play it all together and you can see how it flows together. Like, imagine that they introduce some small party character in episode 1, and then they come back in episode 5. For those of us who are playing it really slowly, waiting month after month after month, we might not remember that character anymore. But for someone who plays it all in bulk, the beat might work. Do you get what I mean? And I think at the end of the day, I mean, maybe this is debatable, but I think that the true king, the true experience that matters is the bulk experience, not the piecemeal experience. Personally, I can kind of get why you'd say no, it has to work piecemeal instead, but one of these things will last forever, one will not. Piecemeal is this flighty thing that will be gone after a while. The bulk experience, what happens in the end, how it all flows together, and how the picture is drawn big-wise. You get what I mean? That's permanent. That won't change. So they got to do right by that, I think, because that will be the same in 2012 as it is in 2018, as it is in 2022, and on. Right. So we're gonna do a bit of Fashion Wars here. Let's go in game. Before I waffle too long about bollocks. There's a lot of stuff to discover in Vabbi, like the Boneyard, the massacred centaur bones, the Vitendi Academy with the houses and altered history, Lair of Zomoros, Hanging Gardens, Garden of Saborin, not to mention the whole... Well, Garden of Saborin's got fuck all, really, in Guild Wars. Only the meta makes something interesting there, if I remember rightly. Right, the Hanging Gardens, it all ends, so that's kind of golden path, isn't it? It all ends at the Hanging Gardens. I don't think that there's too much more there, open world version. Lair of Zomoros is alright. I think, yeah, maybe we could show that off in this series. Definitely the Vitendi Academy stuff, though. Definitely. That's, like, the highlight of Vabbi to me, I think, personally. I love that place. So, let's see. You wonder if we'll hear Kraukatoric talk at any point in the future story. Technically, he should do so. Yeah, if Glint got the telepathy and stuff. I mean, these new Asura characters and the downloading of minds into brains and computers and stuff, I really think they might be doing something with the whole Snaf idea. I really think that that could be a thing, you know? Snaf becoming a freaking character, and then Felicia Day and Zod just step into the ring more. I don't know. It could be really cool. Do you think the writers at ArenaNet have come up with an ending of Guild Wars 2 that will release one day? I don't know. It's a fascinating idea, isn't it, Engzax? I talk about that on a lot of streams. I don't know what they've probably got a vague idea. I don't take any comfort in the thought that they only have a vague idea, personally, but I think the most likely answer is that they have a vague idea and little more. I mean, because it's all going to depend. It's a bit like what they are. They're season 3 of Lost, basically, but in perpetuity. And that was when things got really kind of crap. But it's like they have to keep writing and writing and have a vague idea of where they want to end. But they have to keep writing until they get the word that they can't write anymore. And that word is dependent on, you know, profit for the MMO and what ArenaNet as a company wants to do and what their other games and ambitions and stuff are. So I don't know, you know, that's not a tangible thing that they'll have really, right? We don't know why Krauke moved from the Crystal Desert to Vabbi. All we know is he was boosted by Morty Juice and decided to fly south. He didn't even hunt down Vlas, who'd been harassing him. Have they talked at all about why he moved? I keep on messing this up. What was that extra law that said that they... Like, so we know he wakes up and he goes here, but when did he move? It was after Morgemoth, right? That was in that article, the Scott McGough one, right? You completely failed at making Cormier funerary set. You made the gaudiest America armor. Right, let's try it. So, here we go. I hope you guys like this. I know that this is why you come to Wooden Potatoes streams. Funerary... This is the ultimate end game armor for Path of Fire. Here it is, baby. Now, the back piece, we were saving a back piece for this, weren't we? We already did the Scarab one. We already did the Sunspear one. What was the last one? We did the banners. We did those banners. Oh, did we? Which back piece was it meant to be? Maybe it was this one that we were going to wear. Right. Jesus, this is going to be tricky, guys. This is going to be hard. Let's turn all this off. I've been collecting birthday mails on alts that I haven't been on for, like, ages. And I got quite a few new dyes as well. So this looks pretty cool. The colours are clearly set up that that's supposed to be together. Should we just wear this? Should we just do it like this? Default dyes? Wasn't it the one left to the back piece I chose? So I chose this. You're saying that? No, 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 no. Oh, or maybe it was this. I don't know. I think this fits the color scheme better, though. No default dyes allowed. Why not? Well, I could just do my regular tactic, which is to take the dev's guidelines and pick an icon that looks vaguely close to it. So here, look, instead of Valor, we can go oh, it's the same. I'm quite impressed with my ability to pick the correct one there. Instead of Valor, we go Lapis, you see? Do you see how genius this is? Look at that. Yeah. And then instead of Oil Slick, we just go Gold Fusion. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at how smart I am, honestly. I'm surprised I'm not in fashion IRL, honestly. Instead of vintage silver, we go dry silver. Look at that. And then instead of enameled sky, we go frozen scales. No, that will get rid of the blue. Yeah. We'll go powder blue. There you go. Oh no, that's too. Enameled jungle. No, I don't want to go in Enameled Jungle. No, that's good. That's good. There you go, look. I think we look worse now, though. I don't think we look so metallic and cool anymore. I need some... Why is it always fucking night? Every time I'm doing Fashion Wars, it's night, and we have to go to goddamn Cordicus Manor. Next thing, I will post it on Reddit. Don't think so. It's a total transformation. It went from decent to awful. Let's just quickly go into a daytime place and see. I look like I got covered in pigeon shit. Wow. That's very rude.
We must all fight.
In we go. It looks very Warhammer 40k-ish. Really cool. Look at that. Wait, but are you talking about the dyes, or are you talking about my, or just the armor? Should we go back to defaults again? Or is that good enough? Ugh, just let me dye it for you. Let me log into an account. I've got to admit, by the way, I have to... I'm going to be perfectly bluntly honest to everyone in chat just right now. I'm extremely judgmental of people who actually care about the dyeing. Like really angry, like, oh, it's got to be right. Oh, this is so bad. I mean, to me, it's just such a trivial, like, non-aspect of the game. It's cool, though. Look, I think that's all right. I think we did it well. Default was probably better, though, I will admit. I think that default... Well, let's just quickly roll it back and see. Let's roll it back and see. WP, I am fuming. Do purple instead of blue, but the back, man. The back. It's got to be gold and blue. So, unless someone gives me a really good idea now, I'm leaving the dyes as they are, and we're going to weapons now. So there are funerary weapons. I just don't know whether I have all of them that are relevant for this. Dagger. Oh my god, I do. I actually have the full funerary set. I don't have the full, but for the weapons we want to equip. Look at that. So the weapons are like gold with this purple tint. So we could add a bit of purple in there to make it all fit. Because this is funerary weapons with funerary armor. God theme, do whichever is your favorite. Do Lissa. What do you mean non-aspect of the game? Dying is the only reason to play the game. I'm sure if you say so. Is today's potato Mexican? No, he's supposed to be like a vampire, man. Someone said redemption. I don't even know what color redemption is. Let's see. Oh, it's a golden. Oh my god, that's much golder. That's crazy gold right there. That looks like I've painted it as like a crayon, as like a little boy. I'm not gonna do that. I like the silver, the like dry silver and tarnished and all that kind of stuff. Look at this. All the like stressed. What is that called? Is it by material, you go? Is that a thing? So vibrant, yeah, natural metallic. I think all this set's probably cool, like antique olive and stuff, you know? That's not a vampire moustache. I imagine it to be more like a Guy Fawkes facial display. Oh, like one of those gross, like, Anon things that, like, spotty, like, nerds from the internet wear. Matriarch brass. I don't know whether I have that. No, I don't. You've picked one of the only ones that I don't have. It does look pretty cool, though. Get rid of the blue. Blue for what? Purple? Fling dye. Should we try... This isn't purple, this is pink. What do you guys think? Why have I got blue on my chest when I haven't got anything selected? It's really strange. Should we do this? This is looking good now, right? This is looking pretty good. Eerie purple people want. Okay, eerie... Okay, so this is a natural leather one. You want that instead of the blues? Oh, I messed that up. And my gloves, there like that. And then that. Well, now the back looks weird. Go for magenta, shadow abyss, and the pukiest green. Where should the merchant for this armor be? You did the collection, but he doesn't appear in the King's Tome. I actually don't know, because I got all of mine from PvP. Every single little bit. Purple is the color of evil in Guild Wars lore. So if I... is that what Jeff Grubb said? Really? I don't remember that interview. Do orange instead of blue. Blue and orange are complementary colors. All right, look, I don't need your color theory. What I need, okay, is the back piece and the weapons to mix correctly, which means gold, purple, and blue. We've got gold, purple, and grey right now. So all I need to do is change the gold, purple, and blue. Gold, purple, and grey. Gold, purple, blue, gold, purple. But I have blue. It's purple, right? Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to give up in a second. I'm going to give up. Do you have Destroyer Orange? Do Destroyer Orange and Celestial? I love how, like, how into it people are in chat. Christ, look at this. I quite like that. I quite like that on the head. That seems kind of cool. I don't know. I like that. Someone's dying inside as I do this now. That looks pretty cool. And a little bit on the hands as well. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, baby. Look at that. Too good. Perfect. Hell yes. All right, I'm sorted. I'm good. I'm 100% with this. I'm 100%. Bomb it all, Abyss. No, that's it, guys. That's it. We're done. I'm not doing a whole Fashion Wars stream. You want something better? You can submit your dye schemes via Guild Wars 2 Dye Job, and I will copy-paste your superior knowledge of these things. But for now, we've got story to do. Hell yeah. Let's go back to the Cragged Vale. This is it. This is what our indecision gets us. By Cormier it burns. A little bit of
I have information you're going to want to hear.
I always want to call her Ella McKay, but that's the wrong character. I don't know why I always want to do that. Deputy Mira right there. Pancakes and wood potatoes. My favorite hangover cure is in full effect. DD Gravy, have you seriously had multiple days where you've eaten pancakes watching one of my streams getting over being hung? I'd love to hear, like, your stories about that. That sounds pretty cool. Oh, wait, hold on. Is this the actual entrance? It is the entrance. That's pretty badass, man. At least I'm not doing story with a clipping backpack anymore. Was I doing story with a clipping backpack before? What's wrong with the orange? You guys don't like the orange? The orange is amazing. Look, you can see my tears coming down. I look all Egyptian on the helmet and stuff now. Look how badass that is. All right, I'm going to remove the orange from the helmet, but we're leaving it on the hands. All right? Because the hands are like our center of power. Look at that. That's awesome. I love the little bit of just flash orange right there. It's subtle. It's good. It's really good. I like that orange. Orange, you tired of that color? By the way, is there some information about new Fractal? Will it have CM? No, I haven't heard anything from that. No, at all. Or, nor the raids. Nor would I be talking about it in public, to be honest, if I had. Right, hold on. Let me actually find the portal here. It's nice that I can mount again. I'm so used to being in the LP where I can't
Before
mount.
you head into Vabbi?
But obviously we can't. And in fact, we earned the Jackal, or sort of-ish, maybe, kind of, last episode. So, this is pretty hype. We can even use that now as well. In fact, let's spend a lot of time on it. Do you guys want to Fashion Wars the Jackal? I mean, I don't really have much, but I remember it looking pretty gaudy. I must be honest, the Jackal was looking a bit messy. Where the hell? Where's Where's the entrance? And why were we taking so much damage a second ago there? Now I'm leaving again. Whoa, what happened there? That was strange. The controls went really weird there. Where's just the straight up entrance to the fucking map? It's over there. Oh, it was a sharpshooter killing us. So how are we supposed to climb up again? Oh, there's a ramp over there. That orange you can see from across the map. Oh, they actually rely on you using a Springer to get back up.
Information you're going to want to hear.
All right, look, this guy's speaking. There you go. Yes, yes, yes. This is why we're up here. Okay. All right, so let's pretend that the stream has just started. Here we are. Let me turn up my client because I can't actually hear the game right now. I know you guys can, but I can't. Is the volume all right, guys, as well? We're all happy with this? By the way, I just wondered how long will you fake... How will you fake get the mounts in the LP? Well, yeah, I just have to watch and find out on that one. There's a question like that for every master in the game. Wow, what was that sound? It sounded like there was a little kid there. Jesus. All right, okay, so, story journal. Let's just recap what happened before. There's some nice big walls of text here from the devs. Bringing out the Archon. To command Joko's troops, I needed to assume a position of authority in Joko's army. I have a plan for how to achieve that, but it requires some insider knowledge. I'm going to speak with the Order of Shadows agent Keto. I met with Keto and the Order of Shadows, and I presented my plan. Archon Iberu, the Mordant Crescent officer I met in Amnoon, ranks highly enough to command Joko's armies in Joko's stead. Keto and I agreed, if I lure Iberu out and kill him, I can safely assume his identity and muster Joko's Awakened against Balthazar's Forged. I carried out the plan to draw Archon Iberu into my trap by staging a fake Sunspear uprising. After wiping out some Awakened camps and planting Sunspear banners in open defiance of Joko's rule, I'm confident Iberu will come running. And well, he did. Our ruse worked. I don't know why this is in grey, because we finished this. Archon Iberu came to investigate the supposed Sunspear uprising I manufactured. He was not happy to see us, or about being fooled, and he angrily attacked. We defeated him, and then Cass cloaked us in an illusion to make us appear as Iberu and his awakened entourage. We infiltrated the Bone Palace, and I met with Grand Vizier Utamishi, a wormy little sycophant trying to keep Joko's kingdom running while the tyrant is away, and Worm Marshal Ikolo, one of Joko's battle-hardened leaders. Ikolo was eager to join the fight against Balthazar, and, as Iberu, I blustered and threatened Utamishi until he gave up the location of 2 more awakened field marshals. That's not what happened. Ikolo gave us that, didn't she? Anyway, then I rejoined my team and instructed them to split up so we could learn more about our targets before recruiting them. So we're currently just on a job to recruit more of Joko's Awakened to take out Balthazar. And that's involved us coming straight here to Vabbi, and our next objective is to meet our guildmates at the Troop Marshal's encampment in Venjin. As we walk, we find Agent Harmer before us.
Before you head into Vabbi, I have information you're going to want to hear.
Christ, now my PC's too loud. It's so annoying. There we go. Hello. The Order of Shadows is following your exploits in the region with great interest. Given our common enemies, we consider you a valuable asset, if not an ally. But we have concerns. Is that so? You probably look around and think Alonans would... I loved this. Like, this is so cool. But okay, so a couple of things. First of all, the Vista, like, had me jerking off when the game came out, because this just felt so much like coming back through the Vengeance Mines in Guild Wars 1. The Vengeance Mines, this connection into the Desolation, this was like a side entrance. It was a different part of the game that you didn't really have to access. You didn't have to go through the Basalt Grotto and stuff. And in Guild Wars 2, it's the main way we go, and I adored that. In Guild Wars 1, we actually went through this connection here, which isn't available yet. But we come through here, and I loved this, and I loved looking out across here. I thought it was so cool. Oh, sorry, yeah, I don't have my overlays up. Sorry, DJ Easy. Let me have a look here. So yeah, this is really exciting. I love the dialogue that this guy gives as well. It shows that they're doing a lot more with their world building. So yeah, sorry. We had a sub earlier, Rysark, who just hit their year and got a new badge. So thanks very much. You're the only person to sub all day. Subs have slowed down massively. I don't know what is it that I'm doing wrong that slowed subs down. Is it because I'm not plugging myself a lot? Anyway, thank you very much, Rysark. It's awesome to see you. And then also, yeah, DJ EZ. Dude, you just gave a donation of a $5. Oh, that was a while ago, actually. Sorry. Hey, WP, I just started working again, so I'm able to give something back for all these streams you do for us. It's not worth much, but I hope it helps. Thanks so much, man. Also, what's your favorite thing about the Asura? I love their mindset of I'm smarter, so I'm more important. I like, yeah, I don't know whether that's the aspect of the Asura I like the most. Visually, I love their, like, architecture and stuff. But I like the idea of them as conniving, manipulative little creatures. And I love their deeper lore as well about being underground, and I wish the devs would embellish more on that. I think that side of them is really cool. I think quite often, I think actually, as far as core is concerned, the Asura are a bit boring to me, in that they just went, like, way too funny and cute. Like, 99% of the Asura suffer in the same way the Norn do in a lot of ways. It's like, oh, they're just being funny or they're being cutesy. They're being funny or they're being cutesy. Oh, look at the cute little progeny. Oh, it's just that. Like, there's so much of that. And also, a lot of the writing potential that was thrown at the Asura and the voice acting and stuff, they kind of get shared with the golems a lot, which I know sounds really weird, but the other races, like, where you might have another Char conversation happening, instead it's now golem conversations and golem-oriented stuff, and that, like, I feel weakened them a bit. And I don't know, they're not so sharp-toothed and slimy and goblin-y and nasty as they were in Guild Wars 1, which I've always lamented a little. But, yeah, there's a lot to like about them. Anyway, thanks very much, DJ Easy. What about the start of yesterday's stream? Yeah, we had a few subs at the start of yesterday's stream. Perhaps I'm forgetting. But that's not that there was a lot of subs. It was that there were a lot in a short window. Overall, I think the averages are down quite a lot. I don't know, really. I don't look at the stats well enough. Anyway, so, yeah, let's reread this dialogue because it is really cool. Listen to this, guys. Listen to this. All right. The Order of Shadows is following your exploits in the region with great interest. Given our common enemies, we consider you a valuable asset, if not an ally. But we have concerns. So they're not even sure, you know, we're not even fully an ally in their eyes just yet. But we have concerns. Is that so? You probably look around and think Alonians would be better off freed from Joko's tyranny as soon as possible. But you have to understand how delicate the situation here is in Vabbi. So, traditional fantasy, normal, bog-standard, boring world building, story direction from other fantasy games. Oh, they've got a tyrannical leader, let's just save them and free them, and it's as simple and basic and blunt as that. But ArenaNet go one further. They start talking about propaganda, they start talking about nationalism, and they start talking about the identity of these people after hundreds of years of being under a dictator, and how complicated and difficult that becomes. So, you have to understand how delicate it is. What do you mean? Let's hear it. It's different this far south of the wall. People here have lived generations under Joko's rule. He's their king. They believe he's practically a god. So they're brainwashed, we say. He says, no, it goes beyond just indoctrination. They've lived alongside the Awakened their entire lives. They view these undead as their friends and family, which is literally true for many of them. They're friendly with the Awakened? Absolutely. In Vabbian culture, awakening is viewed as a reward to Joko's faithful. They don't fear it. It's something they aspire to. Being awakened to serve Joko is considered an honor. That's very difficult to fathom, we say. He says, think about it. Since childhood, every one of these people has been taught to revere Palawa Joko. Being awakened is part of the cycle of life and death, which Joko controls. He's all-powerful to them. They sound completely out of touch with reality, we say. And he says, this is their reality. And I understand the impulse to treat them as your enemies, but I want to caution you against this. They're not dangerous or evil. They're innocent and deserving of protection. Then let's just free them of Joko's rule, we say. He says it's not that simple. Saving these people may require a nuanced approach. You might have to allow them some of their delusions. Otherwise, the entire region could collapse. Isn't that what you want? Of course we want Joko's regime to fail when the time is right, but there has to be something ready to replace it. If not, you risk plunging the entirety of Alona into complete chaos. We can do better than that. Look, we both know it's far from ideal, but we can't fight a war on multiple fronts. The Forged and the Branded must be stopped. Joko's way is our best chance, and it's the only way people here know. Change has to start somewhere, we say.
There's always another way. And I'll help them find it.
Look, and they even do that little bit of dialogue there. I mean, isn't that just some of the most intelligent, thought-provoking, like, incisive dialogue this franchise has ever had? I mean, I'm not buttering it up. I don't think I'm laying too much credit there. It really is a very cool way of dealing with things. It just shows you can't just come to these impoverished, brainwashed countries and places of the world, interior or real world alike, and just expect to kill a dictator and everything's happy. You know, that everything about the system here is rigged a certain way. There are people who genuinely desperately believe and understand in this way of life, and it's not your place outside the system. As green as you know the grass can otherwise be, you can't just fix that by going in like a wrecking ball. You can't. And it's been a very hard lesson for powers of the Western world to learn over the past 50, 60 years, and it's a hard lesson for the commander in Guild Wars 2 to learn too. I think it's beautiful, I really do. And it just shows, you know, like, undead doesn't equal evil. I really, really, really like it. I think it's fantastic. So yeah. And how the rest of the map really shows and deals with that, to be honest, in the expansion, I'm not really convinced. But that dialogue there, at least, had me panting and, you know, draped over the bed. It was incredible. So, let's see.
Forged are flowing in from the desolation. They've ransacked the palace, taken over the mines and the foundry, and wiped out many awakened. We're helpless without them. I hope we can put things in order before the king's return. Praise Joko.
Alright, there we go. We only have one line. See, normally in the Let's Play, I cut that big, awkward silence there because it's like... there's no more dialogue, but you can never quite know if there's another page. Yeah, I'm calling them brainwashed because they are brainwashed, because it is ridiculous. Well, I don't know. To be fair, to be perfectly fair, let's assume Joko wasn't so egotistical. Let's just change one slight thing about Joko. Make him less of an egotist and make him more interested earlier in fighting against the dragons. Imagine... as the founding of the pact with Chahern, an envoy from Joko, an ambassador of these people, comes and says, we pledge our support against the Risen. Imagine that. That's the only change. Joko's still starved and spread propaganda and burnt books and enslaved and destroyed and has all this wealth disparity in his kingdom and all these horrible things. But we make that one slight change. And at least some of the humans, living and undead, are happy with the kingdom and how it works. You make that one slight change, and all of a sudden, the game would not have painted him as a villain even remotely, because it's easy to sweep under the rug the history of how your country got to where it is, or how your people got to where they are. It's easy, as long as you're honorable and noble and good now, and fighting for the same cause, right? Beggars can't be choosers. The Elder Dragons will kill you all. Let's do it. So it's very easy for that to have been the perspective. So, you know, this is such a cool idea for a region of the world. I really... One Place Path of Fire did very well. I knew... there's audio in the background. I knew very keenly going into this that I was curious how the devs would deal with the Awakened and the idea that they are intelligent and nuanced and just as cool as characters as you'd find any human, Char or Norn. Just because they're undead, it doesn't mean they're all rotted in the brain and all that. I knew that would be interesting, and I wanted to see them draw those contrasts with the Risen. I knew that going into Path of Fire, and I was very aware of it. But I really think the devs did very, very well. Maybe even beat my expectations with it, with how they did with Vabbi. Or... they do a lot of telling, not showing. But, yeah. I mean, we got the Necropolis and stuff coming up. Alright, hold on. I need to change my settings. With effect volume here needs to go right down, because otherwise you guys aren't going to be able to watch this. Don't forget time for Timey. You probably didn't forget. Oh, I did forget. No, I did forget. Good point. I mean, she's right here as well, so... always time for Timey. We've only done one instance, right? So she should only have one update. So let's move up here.
Commander calling Timey. Come in, Timey.
Dragon Lab here. You've got questions? Timey's got answers. So, first off, you're currently alive, right? I only ask because your vital status has been so fluid lately.
Still breathing. Though if you were here, you'd be asking about Ritlock and Canuck.
That's intriguing. And a little frightening. Care to elaborate?
We're impersonating Joko's soldiers. Kaz cast an illusion, so they look like the local undead.
They must hate that. They're also pretty. Except Canuck. How'd you manage to keep your warm-blooded good looks?
The officer I'm impersonating was alive and well. Well, until I killed him. Nobody knows he's gone yet. We're mustering Joko's army to fight Balthazar's. It's our best shot at getting Oreen back before...
Before Balthazar uses her against Kralkatorrik and ruin everything! Well, don't let me delay you. Go after her!
You know, I must admit, I totally forgot that Archon Iberu was a living, breathing man. I'd just been thinking of him as an awakened. I mean, maybe that's another sign that he just was not in the story enough. But obviously, he wasn't undead. I remember very clearly now when we... Wait, was he? Anyway. Has WP ever gone how he goes through his controls? That's like one of the most requested things I've had over all the years. I remember right when Guild Wars 2 came out, loads of people were asking me for that. But to me, it's just not an interesting content. So I haven't done it. Maybe a video for Wooden Potatoes 2 if I find I have the time one day. That's the kind of place you'd find that. But it's not that interesting, and it's very reliant on an MMO mouse, which not everybody wants, and that makes the video even less interesting to people without one, so yeah. I did do a stream where I was talking about the combat mode quick strafe attempts I was going with, but so far no good. Right. So what order would we want to do? We got to go to the Vengeance Palace for the story, but it's south of the palace. So should we do this heart first and speak to these guys first and just really, you know, sink in and go slowly with this? I have no idea what I'm doing. This is meant to be awakened work. If I can find a pitchfork, I'll show you what to do. There's a noble here. Curse the Forge for killing our awakened. I don't know what I'm doing out here. I'll show you how to use a hoe if I can find one. So these are people who have been relying... The Awakened have been doing the busy work here. The Awakened have been working the fields. These are nobles. There are places for wealthy, happy, looked after, living, breathing men in Joko's kingdom. As long as you love Joko. He'll make this for you. This isn't Alone and Royal. I have no idea what I'm doing. It's meant to be Awakened work, you know? And it's only because Balthazar's come through like a nuke that things are getting a bit thrown around here. I bet these guys have got some interesting dialogue if I waited long enough. Let's keep walking through. I'm going to try and not mount too much, as is often the temptation to do in Vabbi. Curse the Forge. I guess they just have a lot of repeat dialogue. I don't see anyone looking different here. I should have paid more attention to how our Awakened did things. So there's hoes. Well, let's see. So a pickaxe. Who wants a pickaxe? It would be someone at a wall, surely. I mean, a lot of the aspects of these hearts as well, because I've never built a legendary in the way that the devs... Here, you must be hitting the wall with a pickaxe, right? Not quite sure what I'm doing. Never bothered to learn since our Awakened handled things. I sure miss them. They miss the Awakened, see? I have a pickaxe to show you.
Faster!
Yeah, so... What? Oh. No. What? And now I've got a pitchfork. I don't know really what it wants me to do here. Curse the Forge for killing them. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, you can interact with some things. You can interact with this, with the thing. Yeah, like a lot of these aspects of these hearts I've not done before because I just never built legendaries in the way that POF wanted to, because its reward structures are just all over the place. I already demonstrated the proper tool used to this guy. Okay. You have a hoe. Well, anyway, we get the picture there. Oh, I'll do the guy with the hoe. Here, look. Here you go, friend. Look, it's a hint of the gardening update that came shortly after the expansion came out, guys. Total foreshadow. Well, how do I... What do I interact with to hoe here to show him... There's nothing interactable. Oh, we got the Guild Wars 1 music going on right now as well. Making me think of Istan. Alright, whatever, I don't know. That's not how you use a pitchfork. That animation would throw hate all over. I like how we got the farm hands in chat. Is Dosty around with the horses? I'm sure they can talk about that a little bit. What else we got? Noble, Royals. This part of the heart I did a lot. Hello, you got a dirty chamber pot here. Without our awakened servants, we're struggling mightily. Can you help us? What can I do to help? Where to begin? Our servants did everything for us. They cooked, cleaned, washed our feet. What skills do you have? I'm good at killing things. Splendid. There are pests around that could use a good stomping, and those terrifying forge return to harass us from time to time. How else can I help? You're the expert, you tell me. I could probably help tidy up. Fantastic. There are dirty clothes and dishes scattered all over and chamber pots that need emptying. I could give you some tips on how to use the tools. Oh, we've been trying to figure out some of these tools. If you could show us what went where, that would be a great help. Okay, cool. So, massive defense event now. 2 assault paths. It's forged. They will relent in 6 minutes. I do kind of want to fight. We haven't really done any fighting on the stream yet today. But we'll ignore that for now. You don't know if you'd want to eat awakened food? Well, just because they're undead, does that mean that they don't... what is the law on that? They don't like necessarily eat maggots and stuff. I know in a lot of fantasy games there's essentially that idea there, but...
Break skulls!
So we can break the dirty dishes. That's my kind of cleaning up. Listen, guys, here's how you should live your life as an adult. And if you haven't figured it out yet, and you're over 23, then more for you basically. But you use pure paper plates and plastic cutlery. Just throw that stuff in the bin. And if you use china, you just smash it in the dustbin outside. Never have to do the dishes. Think, you live that like that as your philosophy through life. Think of all the time you will save not doing dishes, and the electricity and water you will save for not having to use a dishwasher and stuff and loading it and unloading it. Trust me, it's the way to go. Amazon do good bulk deal packages. People will look at you a bit funny, but alright, okay, I'm joking. However, do you guys want to hear one like totally like the most bachelory thing that I do? Or no, what's the word? I can't think of the word. But if I mentioned I had soup earlier. If I ever do have soup, I don't put it in a bowl. I literally just get the saucepan and I just eat out of the saucepan. Because you get more food out of it that way as well. You don't like get soup left out, less washing up to do. I literally just get a spoon and just have it straight out of the saucepan. Just put it on like a tablecloth or something so it doesn't burn through the surface. Boom.
His lordship will be upset we allowed this to happen.
And that's not like some kooky thing I do rarely. That's how I eat soup, out of saucepans. Just straight up. And I stand by that. It's a big time saver. What's the point in a bowl? What's the point in taking it out of what is essentially a bowl to put it in another bowl? What's the point? Tell me. You eat spaghetti directly off the kitchen counter. Listen, guys, if I ever went to any of your houses and you were doing that, you'd get no judgment from me. I'd cross my arms and I'd nod at you.
Stop them before they cause any more damage.
And we'd know. We'd just connect eyes and we'd know. And you'd be like, yeah, same wavelength. You eat the cereal inside the package and just throw the milk straight into the plastic, like, inner lay. I don't really eat cereal for a long time, but yeah. So I very much approve of Natalie coming through here, smashing pots and things. Showing them the way it's done. Freebasing spaghetti off the counter. Oh, what a description. I want more lore. I want more people to speak to. Let me speak to the actual... Where is the heart NPC? They're quite far away. They're over this bridge over here. And in here, I think. So let's come down here. The urge to judge you is in my bones, WP. I'm a child of the kind of parents who had an entire room of furniture no one was allowed to go in, lol. Well, you don't have to be your parents. That's the beautiful thing. You can resist. You know, that's what we learn as teenagers. Oh, this guy looks cool. Vampire Beast Caller. You know, you can say, screw you, mum and dad. Eat out of the saucepan. Eat it. Don't even give them a spoon. Just tell them to blow on it and suck it out like, you know, it's like a giant cup. And just slurp it out like that. And use their finger on the inside. When it's nearly empty, you get the rest off with your finger and then suck your finger. That's it. Look, think how efficient that is. How little washing up that is. Not even any like spoons and things to do with that. Perfect. Eundor, dude, thank you very much. Hey there, did you know about Twitch Prime? You may be asking what is Twitch Prime. Let me tell you. When you connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you can get one free sub to any streamer on Twitch every month. Oh, thank you very much. See, look, Yuvindor with a double dip there. He just gave me a donation, and he's reminding my audience that you guys can sub with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much, man. That's very cool. He's shilling for me, so I don't have to.
Justice.
That's a subliminal grinder ad. What?
If our awakened ever return, I'll hug them and
You bought Guild Wars 1 on the Steam sale, and you're enjoying your first time playing through it. Feels like Neverwinter Nights. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really believing it when everyone was like, oh, everybody's coming back to Guild Wars 1. I just thought it was hysteria and hype from the few fans. But there genuinely are a lot of people. It's so cool to see right now. I feel bad that I haven't done enough videos talking about it yet, but it is so cool. Why would they send me out here to collect supplies? I have no idea what I'm doing out here. You people are pathetic. Listen, I may suck soup out of a saucepan, but I don't leave dirty clothes around like this. This is just gross. See, the truth is, you just need to have one set of clothes you wear, and that's it. Then you never have any washing to do. Just walk around perpetually in nothing but your boxers. I mean, it's efficient. You guys may judge, but have you ever wondered how I do so many streams and videos and just put all this work in? It's these efficiencies that enable me to do all this incredible stuff. You too can be on board with it. I'm writing a self-help book. Only costs £25. Come into your nearest Waterstones.
For great justice, my strength increases.
Yeah, potato skins are kind of like potato clothes, aren't they? All of this is in the Pursuit of the Heart NPC, and I don't have them. I haven't found them anywhere. The event's over. You've tried everything. Anyone know what Arc DPS isn't working with Launch Buddy? No one's going to randomly be able to tell you that in a stream. You have to follow the instructions very closely.
our awakened never made that mistake.
I thought the color was an improvement.
I wonder what they were talking about. I'm not entirely sure. It says it's below me. It says the heart NPC is below me. So I went below me and I didn't see. Oh, look, 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 look. Ooh. Oh, yeah, of course. And the bounty board's here. Yeah, and he's behind this. This is cool. I like this dialogue here.
Oh, greetings, loyal subject. Are you a locksmith by any chance?
Our only locksmiths were awakened, and they've all been destroyed.
Of course they have. Well, no matter. I'm quite comfortable here in this well-appointed, secure royal meeting room. What is it you require?
Alright, is that it? Wait, Georges, wait, Oni. Is Oni like a 7-year plus gift? I didn't realize you played that much Guild Wars 1 at all. Why are you only just popping up on my radar this, like, past a year if you were a devoted Guild Wars 1 player as well? Is it just that you never did things online? Yeah, because Oni was one of the exclusive rare ones. That's very, very low. I mean, they all devalued to nothing now. DD Gravy says, just put your clothes in the freezer. It kills the bacteria and saves the wear of washing them, but it won't get stains out. Is that true? Really? Can you just throw them in the freezer? Do you have to iron them after they've been thrown in the freezer? I mean, I'm asking for a friend. Oh, your character's 11 years old. That's kind of cool. You got to explore more buildings of Vabbi. You feel like there's a lot more inside places I missed. Yeah, it's easy. It is easy to miss this stuff. Obviously, I have this situation under control, mostly, but it's unclear to me how we will get through this without our beloved Awakened. Obviously, how can I help? Servants handled all of our menial tasks undoubtedly beneath us, but the smell is nigh unbearable. You don't appear to be a noble. Can you provide us a demonstration of sanitation techniques? Yes, sure. I can come over to this chamber pot and I can splash it in your face. How would you feel about that? Let's see, shall we? Throw out the contents, preferably far from the palace.
Welcome to Virgin. Please consider my palace your palace.
You are disgusting. It's all green and
I
stuff.
can do for you. You need only ask.
Increases.
More strangers approach, Your Highness.
What exactly
Sauntering
can you
about
do
as if
from
they
in
own
here?
the place. I might reduce that further. What can you do?
Pay them no heed. Insubordination is a well-known side effect of claustrophobia. Now, how may the crown serve?
In chat, someone said, yeah, if you want your cloth full of dead, frozen bacteria, please. Who cares about, I mean, dead bacteria? bacteria is microscopic. What? Why do you care? Like, if it's pacified by being dead, chill out. Like, what? That's not something to worry about, is it? Never iron, hang in bathroom while showering, steam takes all the wrinkles out. Look at this. Look at this. I don't care if these are hillbilly tactics. This is like adulthood 101. Sorry, 102. This is good. Many thanks for demonstrating the finer points of basic housekeeping and pest control to my royal retinue. Your humble station in life is obviously proven educational. You can clean and kill with the efficiency of a company of mummies. You have my gratitude. I wonder, because you can be a noble as a human, when our player characters actually did learn this kind of stuff. Know that you've done your prince a great service. The smell of dead vermin is a clear improvement over the smell of brimming chamber pots and moulding leftovers. I offer you my thanks, Commander. Got anything for sale? I mean, oh, look, we can buy a funerary incense. I'm not interested in it, though. Just a mess of stuff. Oh, the Sigil of the Fool. I should pick that up. That seems kind of cool. And then the intelligence report, Palawa Joko. Ah, we did forget something in the Desolation, didn't we? We have to go do the Desolation storybook. So let's just quickly nip off and do that. So hold the phone with the Vabbi story. We do actually have to listen to the story of this map because we didn't do it. Do you exit the shower to take a piss or take a shortcut? What's a shower? I'm not quite sure what.
Have a look. Sign on the line, and it could make us both.
Alright, we can go help Redeemer Kosan in his quests. God, the map looks so good right now, doesn't it? Look at these colours. And we can... in before someone in chat is like, it's oversaturated. And this should give us heart progress at the same time. So this is good.
Such might.
And then when we finish this heart, we'll buy the book. And then with the book, we can listen to the lore. Shower is when you go outside while it's raining. It never rains in the UK, though, so... I'm a bit shit out of luck on that one. Oh, he's returning this way, is he? Okay. Got another one. You like Kosan, and not because it resembles your nickname. I just hope we see him and Kos in the story again and have them be united. I think I'm sort of done with Kos at this point, to be honest. I get what you're saying, but... I wouldn't mind if they just sort of left him in the cave forevermore. I don't know. They've got enough characters, I guess, is my point. So, like, I wouldn't want to see Kos come back unless it was for a big reason. And I don't think we need more characters having big reasons being in the story right now.
This way.
Yeah, Jerry, I did just say that as a bit of a joke to annoy people. WP's never been to Manchester, obviously. Yeah, it only rains in Manchester. Most of the UK is well known as being super sunny and nice, and like it's a holiday destination 24/7, except Manchester. That's where it rains. You Mancunians do have it tough. What armor is that? Look, we had someone ask. Somebody asked. Pride Claw, are you doing that like as a joke, or were you serious? Oh, that's pretty hype. Look at that, see? The first one. This is the funerary armor, available from Path of Fire, the most recent expansion. It is the most elite end game of rewards, and I recommend you play PvP to get it, because it's easy as dick to get from PvP. I'm just going to break as many of these walls as necessary. Oh, that's so cool, just throwing the axes at him. He got excited by the incredible orange gloves. Yeah, I think so, right? I think so. I mean, who actually cares about the orange gloves right now? You can hardly even see them in the gameplay.
What can we do for you?
I'm trying to find out who's been wrecking our surveillance devices.
Oh, now that you mention it, I saw a pile of busted devices just south of here.
Thanks. I'll check it out.
Someone said you can't get in PvP, really? I'm pretty sure I got every single bit of gear from all of Path of Fire from PvP. I'm pretty sure. Oh, or was Funerary the one set where you couldn't? Maybe Funerary was the one set where you couldn't. No, this backpack is not ugly. Ignore him. He speaks as though he has authority on these matters. He does not. I have over 10,000 hours in the game, so I can confirm 100% that this backpack is not ugly. All right? You have to listen to my authority on that. Oh, there you go. This was the achievement one. Yeah, I think we did some streams doing that as well. Yeah, so to get this armor set, you go on awesome adventures all around the expansion doing collections. Oh, yeah, WP's lost his touch. There it is again. All right, there we go. We got the heart. Should we finish the event as well to see what else Kosan has to say? I don't have stab, so I'm not going to balls charge through that because I don't know whether the evades will save me. It's good to see you, Z Fruit Rat. I'm glad you made it to the stream. Make yourself at home. Hope you enjoyed the footy earlier. I know the Germans had a bit of a good one. Yeah, I'm thinking of shifting my focus with the game, guys. You know how people tend to think of me for lore, and I'm not really into lore. So I'm thinking what I am good at with the game, though. I don't really play Fractals much. I definitely don't care about raiding that much right now. I'm not PvPing that much right now. Fashion Wars. I'm thinking I'm gonna be a Fashion Wars channel. What do you think? I'll just start over, and what I'm thinking of doing is going to Guild Wars 2 Dye Job. Because, I mean, I have a lot of stuff unlocked. Going to Guild Wars 2 Dye Job and just stealing content from that website and making videos saying, hey, guys, this is this character. This is what I look like. Here's the set. Here's my head cannon. There'll be about 15 minutes. I'll do one a day. What do you think? Raking the views? New focus for me? Because the trick is, because I'm stealing the content from Guild Wars 2 Dye Job, I don't actually have to be good. Yeah? What do you think? I should become an IRL cooking channel doing recipes from the game. We've had several people in the past who did stuff like that, though. They just all quit. All right. Let me see what you got. Order Whispers, mission dispatches. So we're going to go somewhere quiet to listen to this.
That forged hounds have been breaking our surveillance devices.
We're blind without them. They'll need to be redeployed.
All right.
There's one more thing I need from you. Once we get control from the aftermath of the Awakened, Forged, and Branded, Ilona will need a hero to unite them. Ilona needs you to be that hero, Kazan.
That is quite a weight to carry. But Ilona calls, and my family has a long history of answering that call.
The Order of Shadows and the people of Ilona will be with you. Remember the motto of the Sun Spears.
You never fight alone.
Alright, there we go. We heard that yesterday, obviously. I just wanted to let it play through. Cossage with the correct answer here. WP is multifaceted as an individual, as shown by his whiskey streams. So adding Fashion Wars to my curriculum vitae shouldn't be that big of a stretch. And he's right, you know? He's right. He's absolutely right. Look, I got the life pro tips for you. I got the whiskey. And soon I will tell you how to look as cool as Mr. Orange Hands here. Look at that. The orange hands do actually work really well. I'm not even being ironic. I like the orange hands. I genuinely do. I think they look great. I like a little element of the outfit to look slightly different. Uniformity in all places, boring. Boring. Give me something pretty about it. Something different. Something to titillate and excite me. Yeah. Cossan sounds more like Cos than Costed. I can't remember how Cos sounded in episode 1. We'll get there soon, obviously. There you go. They're like a spicy meatball good at fashion chefing. Alright, here it is. This is the way up. Come on. Up you get. We're going to go through this portal here as well, because we have unlocked that ability now. It looks like you've eaten too many Wotsits. Man, my Wotsit consumption was probably 90% of all the Wotsits I've ever eaten in my life were probably before the age of 12. Are Wotsits good? I wonder how good Quavers are as well. They're like such like kiddie foods to me. That's like a classic, like, dumpy American nerd food as well, isn't it? Because the American version is Cheetos, and, like, it's always about, you know, fat-fingered nerds brushing Cheetos off their chest as they play games. So let's listen to this audio. Probably, let's see. What's better? Can people tell me in chat what's better, a Cheeto or a what's it? To those of you who have had it all. So there are some enemies here which would be a bit annoying. I don't want to get interrupted in the middle. But it's only a couple. Alright. I love the thought that some overweight person is actually watching this stream right now and is eating Cheetos, and they've just had a real, like, wake-up moment where they're like, oh, God. Oh, I'm a stereotype. Oh, I'm going to change my life. And this is it. Winter Potatoes was here. Day 0 for you, my friend. You can put down the Cheetos. All right, let's listen. I can't even remember what the book was called. We did buy it, didn't we? It's just my inventory's such a mess. And I know people don't like the inventory being a mess. It's not a consumable. A swollen Hydra gut. I don't remember that being a thing. And I got a lost saddlebag from it. What? A Hydra ate a centaur or something? That's amazing. I know one of you can see it right now, and it's going to pain you so much, but I'm scanning, so... What if I just type order? Maybe it will come up. Yeah, there you go, order. Order of Whispers, mission dispatches. Look how cool we are. Look at that. Now, if I still had the orange tears on my face, we'd look even better, but you guys refuse to do that. So, Order of Whispers, mission dispatches from Lightbringer Agbade. Codename Minor Agbade. Listen to the story.
I've been sent to learn about the Order of Shadows. How they strayed so far, why they ignore our requests for collaboration. The first step is information, and for that I need local contacts. So far, every line of inquiry we've pursued has failed. Balthazar's invasion and Joko's absence makes this a unique opportunity for discovery. I will not let the Preceptors down. Successfully infiltrated the mines. Strong Shadows influence here. Nobody's talking, though. It'll take time to build enough trust to exploit. Even with my Vabbian ancestry, this is dicey, dangerous. Progress. After some strong hints, I was sympathetic to their cause, and some stronger Alonian wine. The mine foreman let slip he works with Shadows. An associate, not an agent. I can use that, and him. Met with 2 confirmed Shadows associates. Astonishing. To them, we are the ones who lost our way. To them, Joko is a more pressing threat than Kralkatorrik, or any Elder Dragon. Bombshell. Shadows is a splinter group. Original Whispers still here, further south in Alona proper. They rejected Shadows' exclusive focus on Joko. Schism formed. Shadows began parallel operations. Secured proof that Shadows plays all sides off each other to keep the status quo churning and exploitable. They advanced Joko's cause one day, Sun Spears the next. A very dangerous game. Troubling. Confirmed that Shadows sacrifices innocents simply to protect their ability to influence events. Schemes that only serve to perpetuate more schemes. Do they even have an endgame? I think they're on to me. Both of my primary contacts have gone missing, and my secondaries refuse to acknowledge me. There's so much more to learn, but I fear it's no longer safe to learn it. My cover's definitely blown. Strangers tried to follow me home. I gave them the slip, but this will be my last dispatch. If Shadows knows what I'm up to and where to find me...
Alright, so, I mean, how cool is that? So, first of all, that bit at the end there, without the voice acting, then we don't really know, but they definitely are saying that Agbade had died. I love this, that we get the perspective of our order looking at this order. Now, what's so profound about everything you heard there is how important the Order of Shadows seem to be shaping up to be in Living World as well. You want to think of that whenever Order of Shadows are in the picture, that they've actually done some pretty messed up stuff, and we don't really know what their end game is. They seem to suggest quite often that it's all about unseating Joko, but they're furthering Joko's agenda quite often, just so that they can stay as playmakers. It's kind of like they want Joko gone, but only so that they can be up in a weird way. Which is weird because the original Order of Whispers, and you know that they're a splinter group from, wasn't really seeking to be a political force or anything. But it's like they're only happy to see Joko go out of the picture if they're in a position to sweep in on the vacuum. So they further one agenda and then the other, and then and that's kind of like so messed up. What specifically they were doing for sacrificing innocents, I'm not sure the game ever like goes deeper into, but yeah, and what a cool part of the story as well for them to tell us about that here as we now go into the last moment where there will be more interaction with them. So will we meet Whispers on Tuesday? I'd expect there to have, Agent Keto and stuff to have more influence. I'd expect it, certainly. I don't know for sure, but I mean, they are juggling a lot of characters now. I guess it depends on the scope of the patch. Some people think the delay is like totally normal and excusable just because of there's a new mount, and they're like, oh well, obviously it would take a lot longer. But let me just put it this way: I've explained this before. Even if that's true, that the whole reason why it was a little bit slow is because there's a mount coming, which by the way runs contrary to what the devs specifically said, which was that they were doing something that would help the other ones come later or whatever it was. Even if that's true, all the other teams are still doing things. So what value do they add? What extra story do we get? How many more characters can they comfortably juggle per release and stuff because they have more runtime? That's what I'm quite interested in, you know. So yeah, I do not trust the Order of Shadows. We do not know anything about them, and the more we discover, the more we realize their true goals, and that includes sacrificing innocent lives. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge, huge thing there. Sacrificing innocent lives. It's hard for that to be excused, really. I know that we're in a very much shades of grey kind of situation here with Joko and whatnot going on, but it's a hard thing to swallow. So the thoughts that somehow it's justifiable, well, they have to do a lot to convince us of that. The thing is, I think because that's not Golden Path information, we can't assume that all the commanders know, or that the player commander knows or whatever. So how they write the commander is really tricky as well, by having such a profound thing only hearable by some players who go off the beaten path to get the full story. Do you get what I mean? So there'll have to be another bombshell coming up where we learn to mistrust them in another way. But yeah, should we go straight for the story now, or do you want to do this next heart? I guess we'll go straight for the story. Is this immediately the Minionmancer instance? Enemy of my enemy. Let's see. The Troop Marshal. Is this the Minionmancer instance straight away? Episode 4 will ship with Halloween, and then you're crying. Don't cry at that. That could be amazing. They could tie Joko and...
Now that you're here, I can put us back into a Mordant Crescent, guys.
Hooray. Was anyone able to learn anything useful about the Troop Marshal?
The Order of Shadows says the Forged have a history of attacking his training facility here.
So there's no love lost between Troop Marshal Ogun and the Forged?
If we sell this to Ogun as revenge against Balthazar, maybe he'll sign on.
If we can convince him that the Archon's the guy who will get it done.
Sorry, it's taken me a while to start speaking again. I'm just messing with OBS volumes. Yeah, the Archon obviously being us. So, yeah, the Halloween thing. Halloween has always been a special festival for Guild Wars, but we all know how it's been going in recent years. Wouldn't it be fantastic if the main plot coalesced and connected to the return of Halloween? Because Joko and the Mad King are both relevant. I mean, that'd be great, wouldn't it? So I'm kind of excited if the two coincide timeline-wise. That'd be really interesting. So it's Kanak. I mean, how the devs would storyboard that, though, accounting for delays and things, is kind of obscene. So I wonder whether it can be anything actually that major. These guys won't speak to us, obviously, because there's no more pressing F to get dialogue. Woo! We're walking in the wrong direction straight away. Let's move on up to the mini-camp over here. I like this instance, but I also don't like having to engage my brain to remember how the new mechanics work every time. but we'll get there.
Archon, sir. Welcome. You honor us with your presence.
I bring orders directly from the most tenacious King Palawa Joko for the Troop Marshal's ears only.
Yes, sir. Follow me.
So those doors, by the way, those bone walls are very much like Zaitan's bone walls. But I think we're not supposed to really think too deeply about it.
Archon, greetings. Wormmaster Ekolo told me you might come calling.
Then you know that King Joko has asked me to gather and lead his armies against Balthazar.
And I can think of no greater honor than to follow the storied Archon into battle. Unfortunately, the Forge have a huge foundry nearby, with a portal they use to refresh their ranks. If I were to leave now, there would be no one to monitor the troops and supplies that are coming in and out of the site.
Why haven't you just attacked the foundry and destroyed the portal?
This is a training camp. I don't have the seasoned troops I'd need to attack a target that big.
If I did your job for you and found and destroyed the portal, you'd have no excuse not to follow me into combat.
Archon, if you can do that with these recruits, I'd follow you into the underworld and back.
Maybe next time. For now, just watch how the Morton Crescent gets it done, and start packing your kit for Kodash.
I've only had time to teach these recruits basic combat commands. The Forged have kidnapped many of my recruits. If you see any inside, please get them out. I need all the bodies I can get.
I suggest you watch and learn from the safety of your camp. Maybe next time you won't be so cowed by a horde of empty armor.
So I do actually still have some of the achievements to get on this one. So I've got take out 10 with a single mummy bomb. And I've got clear the portal without ever switching to my personal skills. Really? I've not done that before? I'm pretty sure I had. That seems really easy, Master of Mummies. Did they change that and how you get that? But the 10 in 1 I definitely don't have. Let me just check here. Path of Fire. No, it's not that. It's Story Journal. Path of Fire Act 3. No, I don't have either of them. And I also need to destroy all of the forged pylons before the War Beast in the Beast of War chapter without dying. So these are the last things I need for Act 3. Act 2 we missed to kill... yeah, that's a bitch, that one. That one's really annoying. And I have all of Act 1. So, yeah, we can try. If you guys have any advice on getting the 10 for 1, that's kind of a cool idea. Yeah, I saw you mentioned about Tom Abernathy's comment that they could do some kind of a musical together. Thorn and Joko. That would be kind of funny. Right, so to recap my skills, order a mummy to rush in and melee, medium damage. Order a mummy to attack from range, and then the decoy and the explosion. Okay, so we're gonna take our little mummies with us, and the 5 orders them. Right, yeah. So ground target on the 5. I mean, honestly, I remember the dev actually posted who wrote this. They got so much praise for how this instance plays. And people excited about new Minion Mancer mechanics. It's amazing because they were like a campaign mission dev or whatever. They weren't balanced team or anything, and yet they built something so fun that everyone was really excited.
No, I have to succeed where Ogun couldn't. With these recruits.
So, the recruits, I guess. I mean, how smart are these supposed to be? I found myself so curious about that. When you gather your awakened, do the dance for an Easter egg. Yeah, they dance with us, right? I think I remember seeing that. Someone asked earlier, do you, if you do this co-op, does everyone get credit? Everyone gets credit. Though in co-op, this is one of the ones where the co-op person kind of has a very specific different experience. All right, let's practice on the Prowler. So I just spam 1, right? And they all go in melee. So they're moving in. But probably the ranged attacks are the better ones to do because it's a bit like in Guild Wars 1 with the whole Devourer, the ranged minion thing. They should move less. These guys still move quite a lot. What if I do mixed damage? Is that an idea? Cover them in tar, reducing their speed. It just feels really good and impactful and just fast and responsive. It's good. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to try and not press my special action. Okay, so he melee attacks, so we'll range kill him. Like, he can't even do anything, right? Because they're smart enough to run away. And he's tarred, yeah, look. And I don't need to keep spamming the ability. Once they've all got their command, they'll just do it. So down he goes.
The portal's got to be through that gate.
Man, I love this. This soared my interest in the story back up after the miserable end of the Desolation. But did the end of the Desolation really hit you that hard? I wasn't 100% hating on the end of the Desolation because I didn't know if they were going to loop us back in either. Maybe I'm just too much of an optimist, right, or whatever. But I was holding out hope and that, you know, we might have like one instance in Vabbi and then we go back to the Bone Palace. And then, because it was all so much to do with Joko at this point. Who knows? The story could have done that. And if they had done that, I would have applauded that because I don't like this idea of it's just a linear romp, map. I like going backwards and forwards a little bit, right? So I wasn't like... I hadn't lost all faith in the game. I was just juggling lots of potential things of how I felt about it. And it wasn't obviously until it all finishes and you realize, wow, that you really don't come back, that you get... I had time to be upset with it. But by then, you know, I had so much other exciting stuff to think about, like the climactic conclusion and stuff, so... I rolled my Ishins when I first saw what the mission was, but it conquered me really quickly. Why would you just instantly roll your eyes at it? You failed the first time, but nailed it second? I mean, I played this co-op first time, so I can't really remember exactly what my experience was. I don't think I failed, but... So the 10 in 1, again, killing 10 all at once. Where's the actual position for that? If someone wants to tell me, you'd have to type a full, complete paragraph, though, because I'm not going to know. If you just say, oh, it's around the corner, and I read it 5 minutes later, then it's not going to make any sense. The only way to get 10 with 1 is on the ground floor. Aggro all mobs, then LOS them, and try to clump up. Okay, we'll try it that way. So we'll go to the ground floor. How do I aggro all mobs with a ton of mummies flooding around? How do I LOS with all the mummies? I just don't tell them to attack ever, so they follow me really tightly.
This explains how Balthazar's able to maintain armor and troop levels this far south. There's the portal up on that walkway. Just gotta find a way to reach it.
I don't really recognize what they mean by the portal there, but hey, whatever. Right, so those are the shield generators. The order we do things in here is kind of important. So let's see. Let's take out this prowler. And then this. Because we want a bigger army. We've got 6 right now, and we want to grow it more. Yes, the way that achievements provide an actual fail condition in story steps, it is awesome, isn't it? Yeah, I agree. I like that a lot. So, he repels all range attacks, so we have to melee him. And it's like retaliation if you don't do that, so it's pretty bad. So that's the ground floor down there, but I don't want to walk straight into the hive. Let's try and go down on the left on this spiral staircase and see what we've got on this side. Let's see. So the War Mage. So this guy has a fire aura, so we should use ranged against him. Which we are, but the wall is blocking the projectiles for now. The hook heads are... Christ, they're doing some good damage right now. Well, we got to blow up the shield generator first, so let's go over there. 2 of my mummies died, so that's pretty bad. And another one's dead. Okay. Now we can kill these guys. Are my traits still effective right now? I only have 1 mummy left. Wow, all my mummies died. I never experienced this before. Yeah, my last mummy just died. So if we want the never use our regular skills thing, we have to flee. Luckily, I'm a master of this. So are you telling me that mummies respawn at the start and you can grab more? I didn't even realize that was a thing. Do they actually do that? Yeah, they do. Wow, huh. That's a bit crap. But okay. What's their respawn like? Could I not do this multiple times? To just start with an army. Are you my mummy / Doctor Who? Is that a thing in Doctor Who? Is that a spoiler, me saying that out loud? Do Time Lords have parents? I don't even really know. I'm not a big Doctor Who fan, so. They need a challenge moat with no mummy respawns. I mean, they never returned to, in this expansion, the idea of a nightmare moat. So that was what the big challenge version of the Morgemoth encounter was. And I'm disappointed by that. That would have been really cool, I think, for Balthazar if there was a nightmare moat for him. So a 5-man raid version of the final boss. That instance was generally so buggy and stuff, I guess that the devs just didn't want to mess with it too much. The Hearts and Minds one was buggy, so I'm guessing that for this expansion they just wanted to leave well enough alone. So let's see, 2 of them died. 3 of them died. How dangerous is this group? What the hell? So have they already respawned, or do I have to lose everyone? Let's see. Yeah, it was basically just a challenge moat, except they had different terminology for it for some reason. But yeah, it was called the Nightmare Moat. I think it was called Nightmare, wasn't it? Or was there another term for it? So if I... Yeah, no, they're respawning. So I'll just wait another second and get our 4, and then we'll go back in. How can you call yourself a potato and not be a Doctor Who fan? What would... Is there something about Doctor Who the potatoes like? What? Anyone else? No? We have 3 mummies. Let's just go then. The last one probably won't respawn for a while. Right. So... Now we should be able to go downstairs, and there should be more awakened reinforcements there. I remember at this point, I had a huge army. I've done this instance like 3 or 4 times now as well, by the way. I'm sure this is not the only stream I've done it on either. We've definitely streamed it before. So here's some reinforcements. I just want to acquire them from the correct angle, you know. What about the mummy bomb? So we have to run around down here now, do we? 1, 2 mobs. There's lots of allies here. We're at a place called the Hearth. 3, 4, 5, a forged prowler. There's not many mobs down here. Is this genuinely where you get the 10 for 1? I only see 5 mobs. What's Doctor Who? Is it an anime? Absolutely, it's an anime. May as well be. I know so little about both. Right, let's just... I'm going to try it. I'm just going to grab all my guys and I'm going to aggro as many forged as possible. What's their leash ranges in this instance? That's the thing. I kind of don't want to come down here because getting them up the steps and stuff might be really annoying. Scavenger. Oh, here's a good group. I've got 7 awakened with me. Okay, I'm going to grab these and then I'm going to LOS. Let's get these behind this pot here. This should be a pretty big group. Look. Now these guys have leashed, so that's a bit annoying. What do you think? Alright, I'm trying it. Mummy bomb. Yeah, we got it. Explosive expert. I got it. Nice. Thank you very much. Who was that said that? Ewendell? Perfect, dude. Perfect. You got it. Is that the entire wave room cleared? How was that a thing? The AoE wasn't that big. Damn. Got him. Okay, so 6 mummies. Is it wrong of me to want to go back to the entrance and see if I can get another 4 and we'll have the full 10 now? Or I say the full 10. Is there a max? Down he goes. The prowlers. I mean, they're getting such good damage, though. That's the thing. Maybe I should go melee attacks instead. Will that stop them dying so fast? A mixed version? Honestly, there's so much, like, potential in this gameplay here. Right. So now we're going to go up to the portal. But let me just see. If 4 more here, then we have 9. Plus those 3, we have 12. And we're a bit of a powerhouse at that point. Oh, it was Dead Zealot. It was just you, but others did provide input. Well, there you go. Only one of them's here. So I guess that until one of them dies, they won't be... It's well designed, basically, is the point. Why does he get stabbed? That's curious. Do they all have stab? Oh, they do. Huh. I guess that's to help the flow of the combat. So what's tricky here is we have to push past to blow up the shield generator to kill the sharpshooter. So I'm going to order them all to do range damage here. The thing on this is 2,000, by the way. So you can order the mummies from pretty far away. Grab another 3 for the cause. So we now have 9. The sharpshooter's there, so... if we just kill him quick enough... yeah, the melee attacks are really... they're much faster. The melee is more damage. Do the tooltips say heavy versus... light damage and slows, medium damage, and then heavy is a thing? Yeah, so we're going to favor the melee attacks a little bit more. So our job is to get over there. Did I fuck up? Really? Huh. Alright, never mind. Oh, stab was necessary, otherwise the walls knocked your soldiers off the... It's interesting that they had 2 ways of doing that. Update all the forged and stop them having walls for knockbacks, or just give stab to the minions. I don't think that is the better way to do it, because the walls are still projectile mitigation for your opponents, and they still affect you, so they're still a worthy mechanic, even with the stab at play. So I don't really want these prowlers coming up behind me, so I'm going to just get my army to murder them here. Or at least this one that's patrolling quite close. And this hook head. None of them have the fire auras. We just got to be careful about the auras now. That's the main thing. Another 3 allies here, back up to 10. Go for that soldier. You can't escape. Have them all charge in. I love their animations, by the way. The mummy animation, that's not exclusive to this instance, but the way they look as they charge around, they genuinely look really violent. It reminds me of like playing Dying Light or whatever, you know, like scary fucking zombies charging around. It's really good art. It's really good. All right, we only lost 1 recruit there. Okay, this is the hard bit because we have auras to deal with. So we're going to use this aura to kill him first. Then we have to come up to the generator. Then this guy has the spirit shard. What's this? Oh, that's the fire aura. So we want to use ranged on him before everybody dies, now that he doesn't have his shield. And now we want to use... gains power as linked allies deal damage or gain damage. Oh, that's an interesting mechanic. Haven't really seen the devs play with that much in the expansion. Okay, good. We're up to 11 minions now. Very strong. We could jump... this reminds me a lot of the dragon chamber for some reason. I don't know why. This isn't the portal, is it? No. The portal's over there. Okay, he has spirit charge as well, so it doesn't matter. We can just eat him alive. It's interesting that the game never has the AI swarm you as heavily and crazy packet of damage-wise as we know it's actually possible. Like, imagine if the Risen at launch felt like this. If you got out of position against the Risen as they attacked in the Straits of Devastation. Imagine actually being surrounded like that by all the mini ones as they got more dangerous. But it never really happened. Okay, so he has just a regular shield at the moment. So we'll use range damage to kill the generator. And then melee damage to kill him. Luckily, he's sieging me, so the minions don't get hurt too much. Okay, he's got the... so now we're going to reverse because he's reflecting melee damage. Now we reverse because he's reflecting range damage. We hit the battery because fuck the battery. And I'm not sure what that is. Now back to range because melee. He's got an ally, but we don't have to worry too much. He's going to go that now, so we go back in. I love how there's like a second of downtime on the debuff, giving us time to react and just keep the damage flowing properly. And down he dies. This guy is just spirit charged, so we can kill him. And now the portal. You did fail, Balthazar. Woo! Should we magnetic bomb the portal? Hey, that was pretty cool. There should be a hidden achievement to bomb that. There you go. We get Master of Mummies as well. I swear, I've done this so many times purely with just the mummies. So I must have, like, pressed the special action to see what it does or how it feels, and then that's robbed me of achievement credit. Oh, another room, by the way, of allies that we could have had. I mean, this is cool. This reminds me of Ratchet and Clank, like, 3, where you get the Glove of Doom and, like, or some of the Clank specific missions where you find allies by going into nooks and crannies and stuff. It's cool. I mean, honestly, they could have squeezed 2-3 instances out of this. This mechanic should have been introduced in, like, some of the missing Desolation missions at the Bone Wall or something, and slowly have been recurringly get difficult as the expansion goes along or something.
Very impressive, Archon. Your reputation as a leader and a strategist is clearly well earned.
I've slowed the forged reinforcements, but the key to stopping them is to take out Balthazar.
A worthy goal. One I look forward to helping you achieve. Count me and my soldiers in.
Assemble your troops and meet me outside.
Oh, I never turned up the volume, sorry.
Once I command the full force of Joko's armies, the Sun God will fall.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys agree that it's like the Clank missions. Ajil said, God, the Ratchet and Clank games were fun. What was the Let's Play you mentioned yesterday? Devs Play or something? Yeah, there's a developer Let's Play of the first 2 games. I thoroughly recommend. They're a little bit green at it at the start, but they're entertaining guys, and it is really, really interesting. Even if you're a remote fan of Ratchet and Clank, you should definitely watch it. Just type in YouTube, developer Let's Play Ratchet and Clank, ex-Insomniac devs. Sit down and play the game that they made. And they were such a small team when they made it, right? So they understood so well of what was going on. It's great. And 2 had so much feature creep and bloat, it's unbelievable. So you hear all their, like, nightmare stories about working on it. Oh, now we can't access our new allies. Hey, guys. Yeah, the helmet's pretty amazing, right?
Okay, Kaz, Commander's back. Can we lose the maggot wear?
I hate to admit it, but as unpleasant as Casimir's illusion is, it does appear to be working.
I guess so. Next time, how about you 3 be the Awakened, and I'll be your captured Char prisoner?
Nice try, Cuddles.
That had better not stick.
Only one of Joko's marshals is left. Shall we split up and ask around about Beast Marshal Aranko?
That worked this time. We'll regroup again near the necropolis.
Another awkward kind of let's split up moment. I love the whole Ritlock in the disguise, by the way, because he's a Char and it would just be so annoying and feel so weird, horrible as a Char to have to endure that. So they end the instance here, by the way, with us still glamoured to explain why we could go back up to the Archon and, like, not get into trouble or whatever. Which I find kind of interesting. They could have just pulled the boundary borders in. Maybe they did both. Hold on. Oh, we're right on the edge. Can we get up? Oh, they did. They pulled the boundary borders in. All right, so they did it all. So there you go. Cool. Always Time for Timey now. This could be another one of the Always Time for Timeys that I missed, because I don't remember speaking to her at this moment. Because it's so easy to just go down here and do this. Does anyone know of a nice, fancy, Always Time for Timey location around here in the world? I kind of want to go to the garden. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Cossage, earlier you mentioned the Garden of Saborin, and I thought you meant the Sepulchre Basilica. I don't know why I got those two confused. So when I said, oh, they didn't do much at the garden, they did do a lot at the garden, you're right. And yeah, that's a cool place to go to. I was thinking of the place floating above the Mirror of Bliss, which didn't really have anything. Yeah, the garden obviously is a great place to go. So I want to come here anyway, just because things to talk about and do. No, I haven't called Flunt yet. I haven't done the last thing with Flunt either. That I have never seen. I've not watched a video of it. I just know about it. And I'm looking forward to doing it on the streams with you guys when we get there. It's going to be great. So the gates are closed because of assaults. Let's spring her up. Yeah, it will be cool if we get to fight those awakened marshals again in the future returning. It will be. Hopefully people remember who they are, just because the Living World season takes, like, you know, 1.5 years to get the story to that point. But as a part of the climax, that would be great. So yeah, skipping over the walls because screw limits. Always time for Timey. Has she got any markers anywhere here on this map? Go through the Jackal portal here. Has she got one here? Do you mean in the middle at the plant? The list plant. Well, yeah, the War Marshal not having any troops left. I don't see any icons for her. We could just go back to the starting one.
If you could assist us, we'd appreciate it.
Let's go back to the starting one, since I'm not entirely sure where another one would be. Oh, you're saying use the portal just to get in? Yeah, alright. That's fair. That makes more sense. Right. This body hanging off of it is so creepy to me. Did I mention that last time we were here? I was certainly thinking about it last time we were here. Timey.
Timey, this is the commander.
This is Timey using my official broadcast voice. Impressive, eh? So, first off, you're currently alive, right? I only ask because your vital status has been so fluid lately.
Still breathing. Though if you were here, you'd be asking about Ritlock and Canard.
So it hasn't updated.
That's intriguing.
So it's not changed, even though we beat an instance?
We're impersonating Joko's soldiers. Kaz cast an illusion, so they look like the local undead.
Right, this is the same.
They must hate that. They're also pretty. Except Canuck. How'd you manage to keep your warm-blooded good luck?
Timey's gonna start a YouTube channel. Vlogs daily, time for Timey.
Nobody knows he's gone.
The voice actress could get away with that. People would be excited enough about her.
It's our best shot at getting Oreen back before
Balthazar uses her against Krakatorik and ruin everything. Well, don't let me delay you. Go after her.
Yeah, the Jinn being able to hold back the brand is genuinely a really cool aspect of them, and I wonder what their relation to Divine is, you know, at that point. So it's not every instance, it's every story step. That's the point, right? And enemy of my enemy is still in progress. How big is the instance outside this then? Does the story step end when we go outside here? I can't remember. I thought it was then a big thing that we did there with the worms and stuff and the race. That's the worm race that starts there. This is all still technically the same story step. 2 instances and a lot of dialogue. That's quite extraordinary, actually. I didn't realize number 11 alone was so big. You feel like Path of Fire is the sequel of Nightfall that only exists in your imagination because it never really fits that image. It's not perfect, but I do get the feels of it. Yeah, I think that it's Guild Wars 2, so there's a certain element of Guild Wars 1 that we as an audience can chase and want that Guild Wars 2 will never get because it's a different game entirely, and the way everything feels is going to be different, and everything about it. So they will only ever be able to get a certain distance, and I think they run that distance with this expansion, which is a great success. They ran it as much as I would expect in looking back at Nightfall. And as far as Guild Wars 2 is concerned, it is clearly the highest quality, like most awesome stuff. So what else can we say? The Ruins of Jenna's Horde, that's really cool. Speaking of Guild Wars 1, there you have it. Well, guys, that is about 2 hours in. Now, I would start the next instance, but it could take ages. And my throat's a little bit sore, honestly, doing the LP into this back-to-back. So I kind of want to just rest for a minute. And particularly before the sun completely goes down. Well, the hours that we're streaming at the moment is like where it's really nice and summery. Is like, as soon as I stop streaming, it's just as it starts getting cold and the sun goes behind the trees and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, so we will be back tomorrow to continue with this. And we'll finish this story step and be geared for maybe only 2 or 3 more streams on POF. We'll be done. We'll be on to the Living World. Which, you know, I was thinking about something, by the way. On yesterday's stream, I was talking about how some people have said I don't do Living World content anymore just because the LP's going on and stuff. And I talked about how I do. It's just the story that I'm not covering because I want to do that in the LP. But every other video is still there and will continue to be there. And I talked about all that. It occurred to me after that stream, I still do the story stuff as well. We've done streams that sit and play exhaustively slowly through all of episode 1 and all of episode 2. We've done that already, and we're going to do it again now on Natalie once she's finished POF. So we would have done that twice at least. It's just because it's not in that one special little package people wanted on YouTube in their face. But all the VODs exist. We've done it all. And we will be going back to Living World as well, obviously, quite soon, I guess, to get back on track. Because we're getting very close to the end of POF itself. So there you have it, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will be back tomorrow at the same time. You can click the follow button to join me, and you'll get a notification, or you can join us in our Discord, where we talk about all kinds of different things. I'm sure a little bit more about the football and whatnot as well, and just generally chill out. So thanks, guys. It's been a blast. You've been really nice company today in chat, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you again to Ewendall for that £5 donation, and DJ Easy as well. We had one person sub all day, and that was Elsberg1. So thank you very much. Oh, no, we had two. We had Elsberg1 and Rysark right at the start. So thank you to you two. It really means a lot. Cheers, guys. I'll catch you next time.